Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. Something I've struggled with my entire career is crimped wire connections. So, of course, everybody starts here, but anybody that's ever used these to crimp larger wires like 4 and 8 gauge know that you could squeeze them as hard as you want. It's either going to deform the connector, or when you apply pressure, the connector is going to slide right off the wire. So I quickly figured out that this was not an acceptable solution. So then I started buying all kinds of random wire crimpers. This one works well, but you can only generate a few hundred pounds of pressure, and you still run the risk of the wire coming out, and I didn't like the way it deformed the connectors. So these were the best solution that I found, but they're really heavy, and then it's cumbersome trying to crimp with one hand and hold the tool with the other. So we finally came up with a solution that works really, really, really good. It's our hydraulic crimper. So I'm going to show you the parts that we use to put it together. It works insanely well, and it provides 10,000 pounds of pressure. So it physically makes the connector and the wire one, just with pressure. And then what we do is we fill just the top with solder to make sure that no water gets in there at all. And it's such a great connection, especially now that we do so much motorcycle audio and there's so much vibration and there's so many chances to have a bad connection. This is the best solution that we found. All the heavy duty SPL guys have been doing this for years. I was just trying to find a solution that was cost effective, because everything I looked at was thousands and thousands of dollars. So I was able to put together a solution for about 300 bucks, and we use it every day. It works really well. Everybody in the shop can use it. It's comfortable, it's easy, it's safe, and it provides a super duper strong connection every single time. So what we did was I found this pump, this manual pump. So we found this manual pump and this head on Amazon. I'll give you the part numbers for that, but that's still a manual solution. From Harbor Freight, we got the central pneumatic foot actuated air powered pump. So it's got a foot pedal on it. I'll show you how it works in a second. And then we had a custom 20,000 PSI hose made by the local hydraulic shop to connect. So we removed the head from this. So we have the head, we made a stand for it. We had a custom 20,000 pound hose made and adapted it to the Harbor Freight pump. So now you can slide the crimper in, slide the head in, step on the pump, and it will automatically crimp it for you without you providing any pressure, on your own. It does it fully automatic, and it gives you a super, super solid connection. It literally fuses the connector onto the wire. Let me show you how it works. So this is our Harbor Freight pump. It was $149. It's the one that they use it for a bunch of different stuff. I know they use it for the press, they use it for the engine lift, but it's a universal pump. We bought that. It was $149. Since I'm a member of whatever the Harbor Freight Club is, it ended up netting to $99. Then we removed the fitting that came with it. We had this custom fitting and hose made by our hydraulic hose place that's a couple of miles away from the shop. It costs like 50 bucks to get the hose made. Here's your standard air fitting where it's hooked up to our air compressor, and then it runs up to our Amazon die and crimper press. So you just load it in there, step on the pump, release the pump, and you have a perfect crimp. That is not going anywhere. It takes a few seconds and it's done. So when we're doing our larger builds where we have to crimp 8, 10, 12 sets of wires, you're guaranteed a perfect connection every single time. So there we have our connector with our heat shrink and a wire furl. Perfectly crimped connector. We're going to fill the top with solder, heat shrink it, and we are done. So I'm going to put a link to the parts that I used. I'll even put a link to the place that built me the custom hose in case you don't have a place near you. Simple, easy, fast, reliable. And we don't have to use any of these anymore. Like, we still use this one if the wire's in the car and we have no choice. Obviously, you can't bring the car to the press. But 90% of our connections are made right there. We have it clamped in our jaw horse, and I could literally lift the jaw horse off the floor by the connection.